We started a conversation regarding the Gospel of Luke by pointing to the verse number 4 that remind us the main objective of the writer, the Gospel writer, Luke, who says that something like this, so that you may know the certainty of the things that you have been taught. So everything that we are supposed to be reading and to be hearing about the Gospel of Luke is to affirm and confirm the fact that the things that were taught to Theophilus and to the community that that name represent was to affirm and confirm the knowledge of the life, the teachings, and the work, the deeds of Jesus Christ. So today, as we continue to talk about the Gospel of Luke, I'd like to call your attention to verse 5 that says, in the time of Herod, king of Judea, there was a priest named Zacharias who belonged to the priestly division of Abijah. His wife Elizabeth was also a descendant of Aaron. Both of them were righteous in the sight of God, observing all the Lord's commands and decrees blamelessly. But they were childless because Elizabeth was not able to conceive, and they were both very old. So it's interesting that the good news of the gospel start with these limitations that people experience in having a child and enjoying the life that they were dreaming of. You know, Zechariah and Elizabeth were obviously happy with their duty as priests and as descendants of Aaron and doing whatever they were supposed to be doing as a family. But they have this pain of not having a child, and that was no good news. But then now they are given this description that they were blameless, they were just, they were people who were good people. And sometimes we think good people, they don't go through difficult times, or they're not supposed to go through limitations and heartaches and difficult things. But is this statement that you can see before us in the book of Luke tell us and remind us that no matter who you are, limitations come to us all, and even if we are righteous. So we need to think about that, because sometimes we don't understand why these things happen to us. It was the same case for Abraham and Sarah. They experienced the same thing. They couldn't have a child. Sarah was unable to conceive, and Abraham and both of them actually became old. So at that point, God meets them and bring good news. It's the same for Zechariah and Elizabeth. When they were totally out of hope, totally out of possibilities, God comes and meets them in their limitation, in their frustration. And verse 8 says something that is remarkable. Once when Zechariah's division was on duty, he was serving as priest before God. Once that moment comes, the day of the visitation of God comes. Whether you are prepared for that or not, if you have been expecting the visitation of the good news of God, it will come. It will come the day that you maybe less expected, but it will come. And we are told the story that he was chosen by Lot, according to the custom of the priesthood, to go into the temple of the Lord and burn incense. And when that time comes too, for the burning of incense came, all the assembled worshippers were praying outside. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing at the right side of the altar of incense. When Zechariah saw him, he was startled and was gripped with fear. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear a son, and you are to call him John. He will be a joy and a delight to you, and many will rejoice because of his birth. For he will be great in the sight of the Lord. He is never to take wine or other fermented drink, and he will be filled with the Holy Spirit even before he is born." So the good news is that God has called an end to their limitations, and God has brought a new beginning to them, and that new beginning is going to be called John, gracious gift of God. And I hope if you're going through a difficult time these days, that you remember that part of the good news of the gospel is that it comes when we less expected, and there is less expected when we think we don't have a way out. That's the time when the gracious gifts of God come. So I like to encourage you today and remind you that we really need to embrace the reality that the good news are here and are here for all of us who are willing and able to embrace them. Are we willing and able, available to embrace the good news that fear should not run the show, but faith in the faithfulness of God and God alone? May the Lord bless you today. We will continue to talk about the book of Luke in the days to come, and I hope you continue to read it with me and we continue to talk about it together. This is Dr. Alfredo Delgado talking to you from Southern California. God bless.